Hello and welcome to an amazing podcast. This is D, Modi, and Matt, and we are going on a treacherous, insane, wild, and magical journey through the plains of Wekamundo, through the streets of Japantown, and to the crazy heights of the Soul Society, because we are talking about Bleach, the 1,000-year blood war, the long-awaited final arc of Bleach. And just to reiterate to that random GameStop employee who told me that this was never going to happen, eat it.
You made up most of the words.
I mean, listen, he's probably just as happy as you. I was. You know what I just realized? I was that GameStop employee for years upon years, okay? I was a hater. I was a denier. I was like, it'll never happen. But I did it out of love because I wanted to protect myself because I wanted it to happen. So now I'm happy.
Listen up, Internet. Sometimes copium works.
Yeah, always, actually.
Yep. So today we are joined by our third party / control group for anime quality, Matt. And just to give you guys some background, Matt has never seen Bleach before in his life, has very mixed feelings about the shonen genre as a whole. So me and Modi thought it would be the best possible thing for him to start him off on the final arc of a 400 episode anime series.
Wait, you know what? Before we get into the proper review, do you want to give predictions on what Matt's going to think about Bleach?
I have a feeling that we are going to be in agreement with half the things he's going to say, and I think we're going to take the other half as hot takes.
Okay, at this point, I don't think anything Matt says is a hot take necessarily for me because his whole existence is a hot take pretty much. So, but yeah, I think pretty much my prediction is that Matt is going to have a lot of disdain for Bleach, and I think that he's going to rate it. Am I being mean to Bleach? No, I love Bleach. I'm open. I love Bleach. Okay, so this has nothing to do with my opinion. This is what I think Matt will think about Bleach. I think he will say Bleach is the worst anime he's ever seen, but we'll see.
That's the thing,
Oh, no, wait, no, I forgot My Hero exists. He's gonna say Bleach is the worst anime he's ever seen, except for My Hero.
Hey, he hasn't seen Demon Slayer yet.
Oh, true. All right.
We're gonna make you review the Swordsmith arc for Demon Slayer. By the way,
so this is the final arc of a series.
Yes.
Okay. Things are a little bit more clear now. Okay.
So, do you want to give us your initial impressions, Matt?
How did you feel about Mr. Bleach?
So, I was watching Bleach on Hulu, and there was an advertisement against vape, and the slogan at the end was there's no vape in team, and I just think it's a really fucking dumb commercial. Of course, there's no vape in team. You know that it's a play on the there's no I in team, but they say vape.
Yes.
But they don't actually do anything. It's they have a concept, but they don't actually do anything interesting with it. And I got that ad every time there was an ad break, which was 4 times per episode. And that's Bleach.
Remember, kids, don't do Bleach.
Don't do Bleach. Because I was very confused. Not that I was confused. I don't think the arc that I saw gave me any reason to care about any of the characters really.
Mm-hmm.
And there were no points in the episodes that I saw in which we got to learn anything significant about anybody. So the entire time, Bleach felt like how I feel with football games, watching football. You have a bunch of people that I don't know, anything about, having momentary moments of knocking into each other, with long pauses of just like waiting for the next thing to happen. And everybody loves it, and I'm confused.
You heard it here, folks. Bleach is officially the iShield 21 of anime.
Oh, what? Actually, I haven't even seen iShield 21, but this is the first time I'm hearing a negative opinion about it.
I feel like I'm being very unfair, considering I am hopping at the end of like an entire show.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
because of course I don't care about the characters, because I feel like they're not trying to build any of the, because I at this point, me as a viewer am supposed to know what the character's like. That being said, the first episode I watched of Breaking Bad was in season 5. And I was very invested in that episode, despite me having no context for the rest of the show. But that's Breaking Bad, so.
So I, oddly enough, so this is coming from someone who's watched the show all the way up to this point, and who is admittedly a Bleach fan. But I see where you're coming from, and I do think it is a valid concern, or it is a valid criticism, because I do feel that one criticism I've heard about Bleach is only 1/3 of the fight really pushes the plot along, and the other 2/3 are just action figures slamming into one another. And I did feel that with this scene, with these episodes, mostly because, yeah, it's established that. So, for me watching it, okay.
Sorry, I know you're about to explain some stuff, but before we continue, based on what Matt said, I think it might be a good idea to actually explain Bleach itself, like before even this arc, because, yeah, I feel like it's we're not even going to be able to review it really if he doesn't know some basic stuff, and I think I underestimated how much it would leave new people in the dark for the new arc.
Yeah.
So. Okay, yeah, you can explain. Right, you're better at that stuff. Yeah.
So, Bleach is essentially the story of a guy who gets stabbed by a ghost and becomes a ghost samurai to fight skull demons from the underworld.
Right.
Later, the ghost who stabbed him gets put on death row by the spirit samurais for giving him superpowers. So he goes to Japan Heaven to fight the spirit samurais, or the Shinigami, or the Soul Reapers. He then finds out that this nerdy guy named Aizen planned all of this from the start and grabbed a MacGuffin and went to the this world's equivalent of hell, which is filled with a bunch of scary edgelords with white clothes and skull masks on.
Yeah.
So the villain that's got this nerdy guy named Aizen kidnaps the main character's friend. So they all go to Ghost Hell to basically rescue her and stop Aizen. Then Aizen revealed that it was all part of his master plan, and then the main character Ichigo goes to start grinding in the purgatory hyperbolic time chamber dimension. Then he comes back, slaps Aizen, day saved, and then boom, we're here now.
Pretty much, yeah. Is there anything that's like super confusing about that, Matt, that like you just have to know now?
There's stuff like I get sort of the basic, even though I don't really know exactly what like Bankai is or whatever the hell it's called.
Do you know what a Super Saiyan is?
No, I mean, not exactly. I've never seen Naruto.
Damn it.
So basically those the Soul Reapers, you know how they all have swords, right? And all those swords have different powers.
Yeah.
So basically each sword has like level 1 and level 2. Level 1 is just the sword as you see it, and it's just like a basic attack with that sword. And then level 2 is like a power up, and then it turns into that special thing depending on whoever the person is. So yeah, that's what a Bankai is. It's pretty much the level 2.
Oh, so it's like, so there are 3 levels. So the first level is just a sword, nothing special about it. The second level, it can turn into like some sort of new shape, so like a scythe, a gun, a shield or something like that, and that's called a Shikai.
Right.
And then there's the third final Giga Chad level, which is the Bankai, which is like their ultimate final form weapon.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And basically, hollows are the souls of humans who couldn't pass on to the afterlife, so they become vengeful ghosts. And soul reapers are magical samurais that basically serve as grim reapers.
Okay.
And then in England, there's a bunch of instead of samurais, there are a bunch of witches that have magical gun horns they use to tame dragons. But that's not.
We don't need to
right
get
now.
into that.
Of course not. Yeah. I think I'm being a bit harsh on this show then, considering I don't know these characters at all, and I'm sure like each of them has such a fascinating and interesting arc to them. But I feel like if it was a good show, I would still be able to like any of the characters or get a feel for them, even at the like last season or at the end. Like, I don't think there's enough moments where it gives the characters just like chill and give us character stuff. It's the show is 90% or like 95% even fight scenes.
So as a Bleach fan, I do agree with that, because the whole purpose of this like arc is, oh my god, the Quincies are so strong, these new bad guys are like overpowering us. But we don't really see any of the characters, like, none of the characters react any differently, and their reactions don't really paint them as a unique character. Like, everyone's just like, this is so bad, this is horrible. Like, the moment where they all lose their bankais happens, they all lose their bankais at the exact same time, in the exact same way. I love the moment where one of them is just like, hurry! They aren't just stealing them, they're stealing them! Alert everyone else! And as soon as they send out the message, I really want them all to go in unison, we know! Also, one thing I wanted to point out, and this is something that's always gotten under my skin, is like, how durable are these fucking characters?
Oh my god.
Because, like,
they get fatal
one of the characters
shots
gets his
all the
heart
time.
ripped out.
I know. They get like, massive holes.
He lost his heart, like, he got his heart gouged out, and I'm just like,
people often, if you like stab them with anything and they start, and blood just pours, anytime blood pours out like that, you're fainted. You're like out of the fight. You're unconscious. Like, I get it. It's like anime, but they have guys who have like holes in their chest, or like just get fucking launched. And again, I get it. It's an anime, but when your episodes are 90% fight scenes, and your fight scenes like are so uninteresting, I feel like it's a problem, because I feel like there's not really a lot of choreography going on. It's usually a character does like a power up move, then incapacitates a person, and then they get back up and they're like, well, I'm not actually defeated now, and it's like a cycle of them doing that back and forth, but there's not any like interesting fighting actually going on.
You're going to enjoy episode 6. So yeah, I want to concede to that, because while I do think Bleach has a lot of like really interesting like character designs, and I did enjoy the choreography of the fight, I will say that it does suffer from a similar issue I kind of find myself suffering with, is telling a story and like building character through the actual fighting.
No, but D, your stuff has things going on the screen. There is a distinct moment that I noted in my notes here about the one guy just going on a soliloquy about like
fear.
No, not even before that, but that same like fight between them, and the guy is standing like 2 feet from them, just like watching them as they're just talking to each other. Like, I get it, like it's part of a show, and you have to like suspend your disbelief a bit, but like, I don't like, what am I supposed to? It's like all up. That's everything's up to like the writer, but you're making it so obvious that like there's like a sequence of events happening here, and there's not actually like any fighting going on. They're just standing around talking, and then they'll like do a power move when I guess the moment's right. I don't know.
Yeah, because again, I love we're gonna call him Albino Scarecrow, or Lady Gimp Mass Edgelord, or whatever his name
Right.
is.
OP, that's his name.
I love the moment where the Captain Flower Petal loses his Bankai, so he's telling like red-haired chain guy to like stand back. I'll fight him. You have to figure out what his power is. And the dude just does a full soliloquy on what his power is.
Yes. Why are you explaining that to your enemies? It doesn't make, again, like, it's for the audience, I get it, but, like, I start to, like, be like, it doesn't matter. I don't care. Like, they could do anything and it doesn't matter because I don't fear that anything's going to happen to these characters because it's just, like, a set, like, motion. Like, it's not actually displaying their skills. They're just doing, like, power-up moves. I don't know.
Matt, I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question, Matt. Let's suppose that there were, like, you did feel stakes and stuff like that and you cared.
Okay.
How would you prefer that the power gets explained to you?
I'd like to see it and see how it works. I don't think they need to, like, explain every aspect of the power to me. I mean, I don't. Like, that's the thing. Like, again, I'm fine with it sometimes. But here, there's just blatant examples of the dude standing like a foot away from them while they're like talking about something. Like, I already have an issue with that before, but here it's just so like blatantly. I don't like to be a stickler for these type of things, but they don't like leave me a lot of like room, I guess.
Yeah.
I think my biggest issue is I don't think it's wrong. Like the main characters having like their little soliloquies is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I was talking about this to our other friend Mark. By the way, Mark, Modi, Matt, Cecile, all my friends' names begin with M's.
Wow.
We were talking about like anime, and I just got finished showing him Chainsaw Man, and he made an interesting point that a lot of dialogue in anime feels very mechanical and feels like it serves a very obvious point.
Yes.
I feel like if a lot of shows like this, if they want to explain their power or demonstrate stuff or have like their little soliloquies, it could work. But I think it needs more subtext. Like, this is my power. It makes you super scared.
Yeah.
Or if it was just like, feel the fear flow through you. Do you enjoy it? Or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to disagree with both of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anything...
Oh, shit.
I don't... I know, what a surprise. I don't think dialogue in shonen needs any more subtext. Because at the end of the day, it's shonen. At the end of the day, this stuff is meant for teenagers. So, I mean, we're here watching it, so I feel like that's the invalid criticism for something like Bleach.
When Steven Universe has better fight choreography than you, and that show's even meant for a younger audience,
I'll fight you on that.
I wasn't talking about fight.
Fully...
I wasn't talking about like battle choreography. I was talking about because D said that dialogue and subtext and that kind of stuff, and I was like, yeah, I just don't think that kind of show needs it. Yeah, and I think in fact, if it did apply those methods, it would suffer and it wouldn't be as successful, just based on the audience that it's aiming for.
I still think it would be successful. I think these elements are created out of more so laziness on the writers and the animators rather than like an actual laziness sounds rude. I don't mean it like that, but like
convenience.
Yeah, it's convenient. Whereas you can have these concepts and then have it be subtextual, and then I guarantee you the show would still be just as popular, if not like more. I just think it's they know they don't have to, because again, that, like you said, you're right. Audiences aren't necessarily looking for that thing, but it doesn't mean that like they would hate it if it didn't have it. Because I feel like,
actually, you know what? I agree with you. I changed my mind. I think you're right. I think you're right about that, because I feel like, especially for a show like Bleach, no offense to Bleach fans, but I feel like Bleach fans are there for the fights mainly, essentially. So I don't think Bleach
Yeah.
fans
Speaking
care
as a Bleach
care
fan.
care that much what's going on with the dialogue, except for like the super fans and like or like people who actually like looking into that kind of stuff. So you know what? I think you're right. They might as well. They
Oh
might
my
as well.
God.
They may.
Sorry, go ahead.
They may as well just. They may as well just make the dialogue and that kind of stuff. Up it up a level since people aren't paying attention to it anyway. But then again, there's
Yeah.
also the point that since no one's paying attention, who cares?
Yeah.
You
Oh
would,
my
you would,
God.
You would
Do you-
appeal
do
to a
you
wider
see what's
audience.
going on, though?
Yeah.
What?
But
Like, Bleach has brought us all together. Like, we're in agreement over one thing. If that isn't a 10 out of 10 show right there, I don't know what is.
Oh my God, that's true. I've seen many great shows that have not achieved that feat. So, good point. But also, I wanted to say, based on what you were saying earlier, Matt, and you too, D. I also didn't. Even though I think a lot of your confusion can be explained by the fact that you haven't seen any of the previous Bleach stuff, Matt, I do agree with you that even despite that, this arc here, at least in the beginning so far, doesn't really feel. I even mentioned this in our first review. It doesn't. I don't really feel many stakes. It doesn't feel that heavy, and literally the first time I felt any sort of like caring really hard was in episode 5 when we saw Captain Yamamoto's backstory with Chojiro, his lieutenant who got killed. So maybe hopefully we can get more stuff like that. I mean, Yamamoto, I mean, we're not going to get to episode 6 yet, but like, if we have a lot of great character moments like that, I think there's a lot of potential. But so far, I agree with you guys in that like I don't really feel that much stakes.
I normally hate stuff like that with the flashback stuff. But in this, like, me sitting down and watching characters like talk about their abilities, I actually did like the whole. I thought it was cute, the like little background thing with explaining his scar and his name. I thought that was cool.
Especially because for me personally, since the start of Bleach, since we've been introduced to Yamamoto, I've never been a fan of him. I've always been impressed by his strength and stuff like that, but I've never like actually liked him. In fact, I've disliked him. And this episode, for the first time, episode 5, in all this time, it actually made me like him because it showed me a side of him that was like he actually cares about his subordinates, because he kind of just always seems like some guy who's just like is just kind of a dick. So yeah, I don't know, he just seems like he doesn't really care. So yeah. I liked seeing that side of him in episode 5.
Yeah. One thing I will, and this will probably be the last thing that kind of like bugs me about this, is interesting because we were all talking about lack of stakes despite like hundreds of characters getting axed off left and right. But for me, A, I don't feel anything, and B, I think the reason for that is it's far too one-sided. Like if we saw like the tides of battle turn like going up and going down and going back and forth a little bit more, I think it would probably be a little bit more natural. But this feels like it feels very transparent that the author is trying to push everything into like the darkest night, the lowest point, the lowest point.
The constant.
So I'm at the point where I'm kind of like, I'm looking at a watch waiting for, okay, Ichigo's going to get here, and then boom, it's going to be an awesome fight, or it's going to be a boom, we're going to have like the revenge arc and all that kind of stuff. So
it's like a back and forth. I think characters, both villains and heroes, need to at least struggle a little bit if you want to have any kind of like sitting on the edge of your seat kind of moments. Right now, the way that fighting works, from what I've seen, is that character will run up to villain will one-shot them, and either they die or get seriously injured. Then character will like run back up and like one-shot the villain. Like it's very like it's this. The back and forths are so slow and overly dramatic to the point where it doesn't feel like an actual fight. If you, for example, like a lot of good fight scenes, like let's say two characters are fist fighting, you'll usually like be able to notice that like both of them are getting tired, or like injuries will appear on both characters to make the fight more interesting, to where you're like not sure who's gonna go out of it, or like the characters are getting injured like an actual fight. I don't know.
So I don't know if this is just cope on my part, but I think like my feeling watching this stuff is that I noticed that stuff too, but I'm not too worried about it, because I think when I look at it overall, I know the context that we're just like the 6 episodes into a much longer arc. So this, in my mind, when I'm watching this, I'm telling myself like this is kind of just like the prologue. And I feel like episode 6 kind of confirmed that, honestly. So when I'm watching it, I'm not really, I do feel like the fights are kind of like lackluster, and like pretty much like you said, like they're kind of mechanical and easy right now. Like pretty much that's it. They're easy. But I feel like we're not going to get into the meat of it really until a little more to go. Like I think this is really just like setup, like pure setup, a lot of this stuff right now, because this arc should be like a good 50 episodes, right? I think they said it was 52 episodes. So I mean, yeah, we'll be here for a year. So I think this is just the start.
I think Matt's just jealous.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
I was gonna say, yeah, I think he's just jealous that he can't walk off having his heart ripped out, literally.
I do get a little bit tired when that happens, so at least like them to see it, see them do that. I do want to say real quick too. I think that the villains, the big mustache guy and the weird white cloak people,
Lord Megastache.
Yeah, they are. Their entire philosophy and motivations are very uninteresting and boring. Like their whole deal is kind of, or even the scene where the guys come to report on for the big boss, and then he just like kills them because he's bored. Like I guess it's to show how ruthless and menacing he is, but I feel like it just doesn't really work for me, because I feel like that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, did this moment
think?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I kind of feel that. I do think they do have. It feels like so. First of all, I like the design of the Quincies. I like their like power up forms, and I like the whole like aesthetic of all of them. But it feels like, the whole monster of the week trope.
Yeah.
It feels like we got 24 monsters of the week in one episode.
That's amazing. An amazing analogy, yes.
Yeah, that's a good. I mean, but honestly, that's Bleach. That's literally what Bleach is. So,
yeah,
oh man, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, okay. So you said that moment didn't really hit for you, Matt. But did the moment in episode, I think 5, maybe it was 4, I don't remember. Do you know Kenpachi? It's the dude who he's the dude with the spiky hair. His sword is like really thin and it looks like a bread knife. And he he's much
got the one eye.
Yeah, he has an eye patch. Yeah. He
patch.
pulled up to the leader of the other side, Yua Baha, and he was carrying like three of the enemy on his back, and he dropped them. What did you think about that? For me, that was so hype. I was like, because also I guess I don't know how much context affect this, but like Kenpachi just has so many badass moments throughout the series, and it's just like this is the perfect way to reintroduce him. Like this is just so. What did you think about that?
I actually thought that moment was a bit cool. I was worried that he was going to attack him and then get one shot. Actually, I don't know if he does, but
also.
But,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I thought the moment was all right. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
At the end of, sorry, I just want to say one more thing, D. At the end of episode 5, was there did they show the result of the confrontation between that guy Kenpachi and Yua Baha, or was that at the beginning of episode 6? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's the beginning of episode 6. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. Can I just spoil a little thing at the beginning of episode 6?
You can spoil it. I'm gonna see it right away after.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. So go ahead, D.
I was gonna say I really love that moment, but it literally made me slam my computer down in anger.
Oh, I said you
Why?
can spoil it. I didn't say you couldn't. By the way, if you didn't say that, okay.
No, this is for like episode 5, but
Yeah.
we establish that they are all named or assigned letters of the alphabet, and Kenpachi literally makes an entrance by throwing 3 of them down at their boss's feet. Why the hell were they not R, I, and P? They had like the flashy like letter listing. That would have been so metal.
That's why you should be the one writing Bleach, man. That's crazy. That's good.
He specifically went out of his way to kill like those 3.
I'm sure, but
Yeah.
to be fair, I'm sure like I wouldn't be surprised if there was some pun in there in Japanese, because those mangaka never miss an opportunity to do that kind of thing. So yeah. Yeah, that was
like,
funny.
That would have been so freaking metal. It would like.
I was
it
like,
would've been-
Kenpachi, yo. Like this man,
I know.
he never fails. Like, also, I mean, there's just so much context to this, Matt, that makes this so like just great. Because so Kenpachi, you know how we explained to you earlier about the level system, how there's the basic sword, then there's the Shikai level 2, and then Bankai. So Kenpachi is a character who, is it that he can't get a Bankai or can't get a Shikai even? He can't get a Bankai for sure.
He can't get like. Yeah, I think his thing is he can't get past level 1.
Okay, yeah. So he can't get past level 1, yet he's a captain. There are, in that city, by the way, there are like 13 captains, like the 13 strongest people. And he's one of them, right? But he got to that level off just literal pure raw just fucking badassery and just being just strong. Like, he doesn't even have a Bankai, and he's a captain. And so imagine, like, this is just a heavenly situation for him. Like, someone attacks Soul Society and they have the power to literally extinguish Bankai. So this is literally his time to shine. You know, so that's
Just
like,
give you some.
there's a lot of aspects of this that makes it hype, pretty much, is my point.
Yeah, just to give you some further context. His idea of a power, him using both arms in a fight is considered a power up.
Yeah.
And I will also say that I think this is another good example of Matt's point, because when Kenpachi enters the scene, it's way different and it builds so much more character than any other captains.
Yeah.
Like, we're seeing his thought process on this whole thing. You were hearing his opinions of it, and he's handling it in a hyper character specific way, as opposed to all of them going like, "Oh no, our Bankais," or "Oh no, they're attacking. Oh no."
They need to do that more, because I agree. I think that was like one of the like interesting moments in it. But I feel like a lot of the honestly, I didn't realize that there was that much. I didn't realize it was like the final arc of a show. I thought it was like a branch off of it. I didn't realize it was dependent on it. So I assumed that the captains were completely new characters, because they felt like they were, in a sense that like there wasn't like a lot to them that made me think that these characters have like a lot more interesting going on, like except for that one character that you guys mentioned.
Yeah. I will say that, and I think this is why we have you. This is why we have you on the show, okay? Because like me and Modi have our like shonen goggles on,
brain
like,
rot,
coming down with the hype, and then you come in and just like you start spinning the truth. And I do think
the truth, yeah.
I think that is something that should be looked at more often. Is just making sure, no matter what the fight or no matter what the position, your characters give off like who they are and how they kind of handle things.
Yeah.
Because again, all the characters felt like they were in like if you take like, say if character eccentricity is like a spectrum, they all felt like they were either 1 or 2 points next to each other, where Kenpachi felt like he was a full like 20 or 30.
Because it's like an interesting almost thought exercise. what does each of these characters do when like their temple gets attacked or something? Like, what's their course of action? What do they do? Like, or I saw something on like Twitter that was like what would your character do if they wanted to like get past this one like situation, right? And you should be able to say oh, they think of in order to get over the wall, they think of like getting a ladder, like I don't know, stuff like that. It's like it's a nice way to showcase the personality of your character without actually having to like explicitly say it. I think specifically the example I was looking at is there's like this fence. It was for like Ed, and Eddie. And like one person just opens it, the other one just like jumps atop, and then like the dumb one just like goes through like a little tiny hole in the like the wooden door, and it's like you're able to tell a lot through like a character through the actions and what they do.
Yeah, like in this scene, all of them just monologued aside from Kenpachi.
Yeah, I don't really care about their abilities. I care about what they do with them. So stop explaining me their abilities and show me what they can do with them, I guess.
I really wonder. I also low-key want to do at least a little Hunter x Hunter review with Matt, because that is a series where I think it's impossible. It's two things. One is extremely good, so I think he will like it, but I also think it's impossible to get around explaining powers. So I wonder how he's going to feel about it if you tried that.
I'm also like, again, I really want to see him react to JoJo's too, because
yeah,
I'm so curious about that. Like Hunter x Hunter and JoJo's easily.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Again, it's like that's the interesting thing though, is like, again, a character, like how does a character use the skill set that they have? Like even if you want to look at like Marvel fight scenes, usually what's interesting is not that like Spider-Man can shoot webs, but it's more so like how he uses the webs with his environment to like fight the bad guy or something, you know? Like that's what really defines a character, is what they do with their abilities rather than just their abilities themselves.
Yeah. I think the other biggest issue with this is they all react to losing their abilities the exact, like, in very similar ways.
Yeah.
Like, they all have, like, this whole, oh no moment. And I would almost say the villains have slightly more like, very slightly. At least, like, Captain Face Mask.
I would say they have a lot more.
At least he...
Sorry for interrupting, but I would say they have a lot more.
Yeah, I agree, honestly.
Because, again, like, they're all handling it in slightly different ways. Like, he goes straight on for, like, the Bankai, and then does his little, like, fear monologue.
I liked it better when he wasn't monologuing. He was just silent, and just things were happening, and he was just...
But I also...
Like, they would do a powerful move, and his eyes would light up a little bit, but then he would like, quickly go back to, like, looking disinterested and dead inside. I like that better than... him ending up being like, fear is what motivates, and it's like, like fear's bad, I get it, okay.
Yeah, but okay, like, wait, can I talk about that part? Because for me, so I think you kind of overlook, this is kind of, okay, I think for that part you kind of overlooked it, maybe, because I feel like this is the kind of thing that's like, what is there to give depth to the themes and the fights in the story. That's the kind of stuff that, like, technically we're supposed to be paying attention to. The fact,
what are the themes
I'm wondering,
Sorry,
pretty much I'm wondering, like, this is the beginning, this is setting things up, so I'm wondering if there's going to be any significance to the fact that Byakuya is essentially, he got defeated by baseless fear, right? So I wonder if there's going to be some sort of if this is the start of some character arc that's going to be playing with him. Because also, I don't think he's actually dead. Just so you know. I mean, I'm sure you guys don't think... sleeping. Yeah, I don't think you guys think that either. So, yeah. So I wonder if this is the start of some character arc or something for him. I feel like this is, a lot of the time, this is how it happens. I don't feel it like it's just it's just like, random filler dialogue. Especially with Kubo, he tends to be like kind of poetic sometimes, and like usually when he gets that usually when he gets that way, it's like he's trying to actually convey some sort of meaning in the story. So I'm actually glad you brought that up, because I wouldn't even have brought it up myself. But I feel like there might be something important about that later on in the story.
I hope you're right, but the way that like it looks to me right now is that they're using themes as a thing for their villain to sound cool, rather than actually integrate into the story, which I feel like I've seen other anime do that a lot, and then just not explore those themes. It's just like a thing that the character says that makes them sound cool and bad and evil. But you're right, that'd be great.
You might be right. I mean, I could see it going either way, but yeah, who knows? The thing is, Byakuya is like within the 13 captains, there are some throughout the series that have received more attention than others, and Byakuya is definitely the one.
A lot more.
Yeah, he's definitely received one of the ones that have received the most attention. So I feel like if there's any character that's gonna have something significant, arc wise, that's gonna happen, it's gonna be him amongst the captains. So yeah, that's why.
Matt, just give you a idea of how many characters are in the Bleach series. A lot of those characters that got introduced, I completely forgot they were there. Like the trio, those three ladies who were trying to like fight back against the jailer guy. I deadass thought they were dead, like the arc before.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the whole
yeah.
Like the lady they're trying to like the ruler of Waco Mundo. I thought she was dead. Like the arc before, I was like, wait, they're alive?
Honestly,
wait, where do they come from?
I'm guessing those three can't die, because they also have died 3 times in the one arc that we saw, and I still don't think they're dead.
Honestly, when it comes to anime, like if you don't see the characters literally attend the funeral, then you can assume the characters are still alive. Probably
there has to be a flashback scene too, like or else they're not dead.
There needs to be a funeral. There needs to be a monologue, and there needs to be a complete vaporization of the body.
And even then, you might get
when they're kids, and they're like, "Mommy, I want to do good in the world," and then it's just like, "You'll be good one day," and then it cuts back and they're dead. That's the only way you know that they're actually dead.
Yeah. So I honestly don't have that much left to say about these 2 episodes, except for one thing, which is that one of my favorite moments in episode, not including episode 6, so I think this was episode 4, pretty much the moment when everyone was like defeated and they called for Ichigo to come back, and like everyone felt hopeful, when they heard that Ichigo was coming to help, because considering what they've been through and how much they used to hate each other early on in the series, it's really cool to see that growth, like in the final arc, where they're not only are they asking Ichigo for help, but they're like, expecting him to save them pretty much, and they're like really happy for him to come. So yeah, I thought that was cool. A really good moment.
Although I think it does play into my whole like belief that a lot of this stuff is like very heavy-handed, because they didn't like really linger on that moment of hope. They just like, nope, downward. If they like played with that and showed like him working to get there, and then Quincy's working to stop him, it would have worked better. But the whole twist of, haha, this is all part of my plan, mwahaha, yeah, it was just like, it kind of took it away from me.
This show also has the same problem that LS Shonen does, where the main character is the only one that can do any shit. I don't even remember if his friends have powers, because they just get one shot by the guy. I don't know why they weren't fucking watching him, but they just get one shot by the weird jailer guy.
I have to say, Bleach probably has the weakest supporting cast of, like, I guess, like, how every main character has like his friends that also are fighters and stuff. He has like the weakest friends of any series, I think. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. I feel like that.
I only saw them use their powers in the intro. I don't think they straight up don't help him in the first fight where random what's his face like just comes up to their windows like, "Hey, fight me." They're
Actually,
just like, "Oh yeah, you got it."
Actually, to say they're weak from me is wrong. They're not weak. It's just that the power differential. It's the biggest power differential because Ichigo is pretty much god level essentially, and so they're like, yeah. Do you guys have any other thoughts about anything else?
My favorite moment was the white shirt guy, the evil guy with the gun.
Oh yeah.
He runs up. He has a ranged weapon, and with his ranged weapon, he decides that it's smart for him to run up at point blank range at the guy with the sword to shoot him with his ranged gun weapon.
Oh my god!
And he fucking misses.
Here,
I'll do you one better.
Sorry.
My-
Go.
I thought it was funny
My
though. He
favorite-
just pulls out a gun. Sorry, go on.
No, I'll do you one better. My favorite moment is when Captain Yamato overkilled the guy named Overkill.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh man. Okay. Both of you guys' statements made gives me stuff to say. Okay. So for what you said, Matt, it's so funny because I was like, oh my god, I can't believe Matt liked this part. We're actually gonna agree. I was so excited. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna fanboy.
No,
right?
you misunderstand. I did like the part, but for completely different reasons. I audibly laughed.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I like the part because I was legitimately impressed. I was like, oh my god, like this dude is so fast. He can just run up on him with a gun and then boom, shoot his eye out. I was like, I was impressed with that. Okay.
You know what would have been more impressive is if the guy did some fancy thing and he just like Indiana Jones'd him and just like shot him from like a mile away.
Like he's doing his like anime like monologue.
He's like, oh, it's so
and he's just shot from behind.
Just go, and then walks away.
What was it that you said, D? I forgot.
Oh, about how like the head captain completely overkilled the guy named Overkill.
Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, I thought that was also something else interesting. I don't know if this is also foreshadowing something in the future of the arc, but I thought it was interesting that pretty much Kubo had like the two meatheads in episode 5 go up against the two captains as like a first round thing, and I don't know if there's like a specific reason for that or he just thought it would be fun, you know. So that's just something to note, and I don't know if that means anything for later on in the arc.
Yeah, I think it was just some fun poetic mirroring.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Okay, all right. Do you guys have any theories or anything? Predictions? Anything?
I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm at the edge of my seat.
Okay, same. Me too. Especially after episode 6. It's so hard to not talk about it since I just watched it. But yeah.
Yeah.
You can talk about it if you want, but I mean, I just won't be able to call it back.
Nah.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine. I mean,
enough.
when I think about the fact that we're already almost at an hour and... Oh, no, I don't know. Yeah, we're already almost at an hour. We only talked about
50 minutes,
so,
yeah.
So there was something else I was
final
gonna say.
ratings.
Oh yeah, ratings. Yeah. I would give it... I'll give episodes 4 and 5 6.5 maybe.
I agree with that. So what I liked about it was the pretty colors. I liked the character designs, and oddly enough, I liked the Waco Mundo stuff. I think the fight scene when they were in like the hell purgatory desert world was probably my favorite, just because it was a one-on-one fight. It was an enemy that had it was against characters who had very well-defined personalities, and I think we got a lot of really cool transformations and a lot of cool magic stuff. But I definitely feel like the clash of personalities and the whole tension were very lacking elements of these recent 2 episodes. So I will give it a 6.
All right. And Matt, is it between -5 and 0? What is your score?
I'm going to say -3.
So I want to make a disclaimer first. Just like football, it's not, just because it's not for me just because people value certain things about like a piece of media does not necessarily make it bad or make people wrong for liking it. I like a particular set of like writing styles and ways of like approaching characters. That doesn't have to like apply to everyone else's standards of liking things. So I know I sound like a jackass, but this show is good in what it's trying to do. That being said, the show is a 10 out of 10. I am giving this my first 10 out of 10. It's amazing, incredible work. Just because it's my favorite anime does not mean it has to be your favorite anime too, is what I'm trying to say. There you go. That's canonically the best rated anime that I'll give.
You heard it first. The first 10 out of 10 from Matt is
the first
Bleach.
10 out of 10 from me is Bleach 1000 Year War, episodes 4 and 5.
The first unironic 10 out of 10, unsarcastic 10 out of 10 at that. Damn right.
It puts all those other shitty animes to shame. Chainsaw Man, fuck that. Jujutsu Kaisen, more like Jujutsu Bison. Bison. Spy X Family, Spy X Trash.
I knew you were going to say that. One more.
What else
Spy X Barreling.
My Hero, come on.
Oh, My Hero Academia, more like My Hero Suck My Nuts.
Damn, I thought you were going to go with My Hero Academia, more like My Zero Academia.
Modi, you edit it so that...
My Hero Academia, more like nuts. Macadamia Nuts. Yeah, that's literally what I was going to say.
By the way, I think I do like My Hero better than the show.
You do like... Oh, wow. Okay, I should have stuck with my first prediction. Although that doesn't surprise me because I also like My Hero more. Although Bleach is closer to my heart.
I love using My Hero as an example of like bad anime tropes, but I still enjoy watching it. But also I'm able to do that because I've watched that show like 4 seasons consecutively. Here I am popping up at the end of the show, so it's
here's
really
what I'll say.
Unfair for me to be this harsh on it. Yeah.
By the time you finish with Bleach, it'll definitely be your main go-to show for when you talk about tropes and like how you hate them. I can guarantee that. I'm pretty sure.
See, the good thing about it is My Hero, I think, handles those tropes. I think so Demon Slayer handles the tropes the absolute best. My Hero is a solid second, but it also handles its original stuff pretty well too. So that's a good that's a good mid-level to compare things with.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that has been our review of episodes 4 and 5 of Bleach. Come back 2 weeks from now for reviews of episodes 6 and 7. Can't wait for that. Next week will be...
We're going to win Matt over with those next 2 episodes.
Oh, actually, my actual least favorite anime is Black Butler.
Oh,
fair enough.
Oh, wow. Okay, I haven't seen that. Now I want to see it because I feel like I would love it. All right. And
all right, next week we're reviewing Black Butler episodes 1 through 100.
Yes. And on top of that, we'll be doing Chainsaw Man episodes 5 and 6 next week. Thank you for watching and see you then. Bye.
Take it easy.
Bye.